Hey, I thought I'd give a little overview for Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Dana. This is the surprise project that I was talking about. Nippon Ichi Software America was nice enough to give me this key. However, there was an embargo until the 30th, so I've been playing this in the meantime, actually recording this in advance, but this is basically what I've been working on. Overall, the game is fun, but flawed. It has great combat that you'd expect from a modern Ys game. A lot of the modern conventions like Flash Guard and Flash Move and the 3 character system and the 3 weapon property system for the weaknesses. But a lot of the problems stem from the fact that it was originally a VIII game. So I think I can go ahead and show exactly why that can be a bad thing. I'm level 14, so the enemies here are not really indicative of how difficult they can get later on. There's Flash Move. Clear out everything so I can mention this. See, down here you can see the other area. And, you know, if this was like a Western open world game, you'd be able to jump off here and just skip that. But since this game is made of really small areas with a lot of loading zones, you can't jump down there. You have to go all the way around. Like, see, I have to run all the way over here. Now, at the beginning of the game, it's not much of an issue because you're largely limited by, you know, the progress in the story. But later on, it's going to be a problem because you will have to backtrack or go around a lot. You can see how small the areas are. So one nice thing they've added is the auto charge from Memories of Celceta. If you didn't play that game and you played E7, I'm sure you remember in E7 you had to hold the attack button down to charge. This attack gives you a lot of SP, so you want to always have it charged. I beat that game on PSP many years ago, and I can tell you that it definitely hurt my thumb to play after a while. So they have incorporated that from Celceta, which is nice. You also have a jump. Apparently there's a double jump later on. You have an aerial string. You can also use moves in the air as well. You have an air dodge, but it seems like you have a little bit of a delay on it on certain moves. A lot of the other stuff is, I can go ahead and show the journal here. A lot of the other stuff is basically just normal things from the last 2 Ys games. Like, instead of, you know, vastly revamping things, they basically have just kind of expanded upon it. You can switch at any time. Stuff like that. Imagine someone, when this is on PC, will probably make a mod so you can switch even faster. I'm definitely excited for that, but who knows when or if that will happen. So Flash Move and Flash Guard are done the same way. You cannot guard in this game, you can only Flash Guard. But Flash Move is pretty much exactly the same as it is in Celceta. I will say one thing though, some of the timings on the Flash Moves and the Flash Guards feel a little inconsistent. It seems like you have to completely relearn it for each enemy you fight, which I think is a little awkward. It doesn't really feel as accurate as it should be. So you have a fast travel system. But first, let me go back to the base. The base is actually pretty interesting. As you rescue more people, you get more services. Like, I rescued this dude, and he allows you to mix potions. And there is a woman in here who basically functions as your store. So you can craft things here. Since you're kind of stuck on a deserted island, you can't just buy things, you have to craft it. I don't even know if there's even any money in this game. It's mostly just crafting, which makes more sense since obviously there doesn't really need to be money if there's hardly any civilization. So once you get a crystal, you can actually teleport whenever you want. I will say one thing, this game is very heavy on narrative, which is kind of uncharacteristic for an Ys game. You will have to sit through a lot of stuff. Sometimes the pacing feels off. I kind of question why the game was designed like that when this was originally a portable game, which is why it has so many limitations with the small instanced areas, the heavy use of load zones, and the inability to get around because of invisible walls. So, if you're expecting something more action-packed like Oath and Felghana, which didn't really have that many cutscenes at all, was pretty much just enough to get you to point A to point B, some small cutscenes that you just mash through, you're going to be disappointed. I think that the pacing and the obvious leftover remnants of the limitations of this originally being a portable game is what's going to probably make this get some, I don't know, not negative reviews, but it's definitely going to be something that people talk about a lot. I'm about 4 hours into the game, and the pacing has been it hasn't been the best. There's been just a lot of talking, a lot of going back to town. There is a tower defense mechanic which you have to go back and do, which can kind of disrupt what you're doing. Let me go ahead and I'll fight some stronger monsters here so you guys can get a little better taste of it. You can see right here, sometimes the flash move timing, I don't know if it's just me, but I've seen other people mention this as well, so I assume it's not me. Sometimes it feels a little off. It does not feel as consistent as, say, you know, other games that have that kind of mechanic where you can just kind of get the timing quickly. You have to relearn it for every monster. It feels a little off. I'm not sure how much of that is because the original game, you know, barely ran at 30 FPS from what I understand, and this runs at a relatively consistent 60. The game is a lot of fun when you're just going around fighting monsters, but there's a lot of constant interruptions for the narrative, which I think is going to, I don't know, maybe annoy some people. Depends on what your tolerance is for that kind of stuff. I never really considered East to be the kind of game you play for narrative, but they definitely have a lot of it here, so if you're not into that, you might want to take some caution. Now the load zones can be annoying, how much they kind of limit how much you can travel, but the loading is pretty much instant. I am on a base PS4, I don't have a Pro or a boost mode on or anything like that. It's just the basic stock PS4 that came out in 2013, so you won't have to worry about that too much. I'm sure on the PC version it'll be even faster. They did not have PC codes available when I talked to them. So I'm going to go through one more room here so you guys get a little taste of the gameplay. The exploration is quite fun, it's just it's held back by the constant invisible walls. It's something that may not bother you at first, but I can tell it's going to be annoying later on once you're, you know, in the post-game or the grinding phase of the game where you're trying to get materials and stuff. There's going to be a lot of times where you'll have to walk around or go through several instances to get to where you actually want to go. I'm sure the Vita is kind of on its deathbed at this point, so I'm sure maybe the next one probably won't have that problem. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and stop there. That's basically the gist of the game, a little mini review. You can see I've only played for about 4 hours, but from many other people that the pacing in this game is a bit off. It's got a little bit more, or a lot more narrative than what you're used to with these games. Probably trying to appeal to a wider audience, but the problem is all the remnants of the Vita version, all the limitations, you know, that come from a technical standpoint from being originally a portable game, definitely hold it back. I'm not sure how much the PC version is going to change that. I don't know. People have done crazier things in the past, so if that does happen, I will let you know. Definitely don't come into this expecting kind of a, you know, arcadey romp like a lot of the earlier Ys games were. It's definitely more modernized in the fact that there's a heavy focus on narrative and exploration, but the exploration is a little bit held back from the things that I mentioned before. So if you go into it expecting that, you don't expect to be able to jump off every wall and stuff like a more higher budget open world game. I think the game is very fun. The boss battles are very satisfying, like standard Ys fare. The only issue I have is sometimes the flash move and flash guard mechanics. Sometimes the timings feel a little off or inconsistent, but maybe that will just be something that you know, you get used to in time. It definitely doesn't feel as accurate as it should. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. I will have more videos of this throughout the month. Peace.